This is Chef's Choice.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm gonna sample that. Hi, this is Ones to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna, and today I'm joined by PawPaw Rod.
What's happening?
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
It's a chill day.
It is pretty chill.
Yeah. I feel like this has been a summer of like nonstop moving. I'm sure for you too.
Yeah. Not only moving more.
You're going on tour in like literally 3 days?
A start of it, I'm gonna
Okay.
do like 2 dates, and then I'll have like a few weeks to get back in the mindset of tour, and then get back out there. Yeah.
Okay.
And right after that.
You start with Still Woozy, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that starts in LA?
Does it start in LA? Oh man, I'm not even. No, it starts in Phoenix for me at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So super hot.
Where did you grow up again?
All over the place,
Okay,
really.
yeah.
My dad was in the Army, so moved around a lot, pretty much like every 2 years. But
Okay, wow.
my formative years, where I tell people where I always go back to visit is Oklahoma, because that's
Okay.
where my family's from, and so
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, that must be weird. It's like you spend like crucial years of your life in very different places. So it's like 12 years old could be New Jersey and 14 is like California.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Exactly. It was bittersweet as a kid because you're like, oh damn, gotta leave all these people all over again. But
Right.
now it's just like I'm used to it, and that's why it's easy for me to get up and travel and just
True.
interact with fans like I've known them forever type shit.
Yeah. And when
Yeah.
did you move to LA?
Shit, like 2018,
Wow.
2017 maybe. Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
So I still romanticize living here and get this a wild sense of deja vu anywhere on any street, maybe based off of like a book or like a movie I watched or a song I listened to, because
Totally.
it's so much culture. So sometimes it feels like I just got here sometimes,
Okay.
because I didn't have like crazy traction or much motion with my music when I first got here, so it's just like whole different vibes once there's things going,
Right.
and you could focus more on that.
Yeah, you get to like re-meet the city a little when you're not juggling like 3 service jobs to pay your bills.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting to hear. I'm just about to hit 2 years in.
Oh hell
So
yeah.
I'm still on the fence about whether or not like LA likes me.
Yeah.
So
Well, for me, I say like in the time I've been here, it's hard to fake the funk, because you'll see people that have succeeded at what you're trying to do. You see people who failed tremendously at what you're trying to do. And you see
Totally.
people like right, like in the middle. So it makes you have to come correct and be just yourself truly.
yeah.
Or it's just like kind of spooky a little bit. At least that was my experience, and while I was able to just kind of like, I don't know, just settle in and just you and not really think about it in that
Yeah.
way,
It is the land of comparison. If you
Yeah.
let it get to you.
Right.
I think when I first moved here, I definitely got lost in that because I had never visited before I moved. So
There you go.
yeah, that'll do. Can't fake the funk though. I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
That's
you
going to be
should.
my new motto for the rest of the summer.
Hell yeah. There you go.
Well, this is Chef's Choice.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to sample that. Well, I would love to know if listeners had never heard your music before.
Yeah.
What's the appetizer to you? What's the first song you would serve up to them?
Well, I guess it would probably have to be Hit 'Em When It Hurts.
Okay.
Tongue out, I don't know how to hold that. Nowadays, I don't really want to hold back. Yeah, so I hit 'em where it hurt. Yeah, so I hit 'em where it hurt. Cecil Lighthouse, search, yeah.
Even just what I was talking about in the song felt like such like a declaration to just like a journey, so to speak.
100%.
Which is like a crazy first song when you think about it. So probably that for sure.
Yeah. And that was that your very first song?
Under like PawPaw Rod, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I've been making music for about like probably like 10 years or so.
That's the name of the game, though.
Yeah.
Like, you rarely see an artist who, like, their very first song was the first project, you know?
Yeah.
But I love that, and crazy that was the one that like immediately hit.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
It didn't feel like nothing because it was during the pandemic. so I was just like, oh,
all numbers on a screen.
Yeah, I'm just like, cool. Not really going outside or anything. That's what's up. So
right.
it was interesting. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like knowing what you got for Christmas, but you can't like open the present yet for real.
Yeah.
So that's how it felt. But then when I started playing shows and be like, oh shit, people actually really did like this song. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're singing it back to you.
Yeah, it was cute.
Well, what was the journey you were talking about at that point? Because that's like almost 3 or 4 years old now at that point.
Shit, just of continuing to go into the unknown, especially in that time. I'm just like, fuck, bro, what's happening? Because I was in LA, all of my folks are in Oklahoma, and I had that moment where I was thinking to myself, like, damn, if this is the end of the world, like I chose to be here in LA.
Wow.
That's a crazy thought to have.
Yeah.
So it's just like, man, like I'm just on this fucking quest of really just the unknown. And, here we are doing this little podcast. Made it out that little storm. Not to say there's more storms on the way. But like, yeah, it was about that pretty much.
Yeah, that's a sign of the times for sure, like a little time capsule of the pandemic.
Well, that's why I say sometimes it doesn't matter what you talk about. It's going to be a reflection of the times you're in. Good, like 100%. Whatever you're doing. If you're like rebelling on some shit, or if you're just like dancing or whatever it is, it's just to help you fucking make sense of shit, or just like self-soothe or whatever,
Honestly, that like really captures your music kind of in a good box, because I feel like you have a cool talent for like capturing the journey as a whole, but also like pointing out really specific moments in your life, like at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I think it might be Rainy, where it's like earthquake in LA, and then there's a reference to Hawaii at one point too, but it's also about like the entire journey of that moment.
Sure. 94, earthquake in LA, Oahu, I was born. Little Rodney Capricorn, look how far we came. She get that shit together, know it's how she want the rain. Outside on a rainy day.
I don't remember what the quote was, but it's like about being present in the moment while being aware that you're like in like a moment, you know what I'm saying? Which is like a crazy like balance to have, if you can even do that. I don't even know if you should, but like that, I think that just comes from artists almost just like by nature having to somewhat exploit like a moment or something beautiful. So you're thinking of just like, oh, how can I
100%.
So that's where it comes from, I think. I don't think you should necessarily have to do that. But when you are, you can see something cool, you know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know. So I think that's where it comes from. I think there was this time where I was like, it was my first time doing shrooms when I was like maybe like 17.
Life changing.
I'll never forget this. Like I was looking up at the sky, and I swear I was seeing like an older version of me, like smiling, looking at the moment that was happening. It's like, oh, I remember that moment. What a moment to have. And I was just like, it was trippy as fuck. And like, I never forgot that. And that's kind of what this whole shit has been since that, for the most part. So, yeah.
And now you like truly do get to look back on like Hit 'Em Where It Hurts. And like that is a past version of yourself. It's cool. And that's what my music kind of is for myself. It's just kind of like certain songs I make, I just immediately live it after I make it. You know what I'm saying? My life, not to be dramatic, but changes every time I put out like a project, or every time, because it's just like, it's like a message in the bottle you're just like throwing out to the world, and you don't know who's going to receive it. And like once you start seeing like, I don't know, how people like live with music, and how when I go out and perform it, it just kind of like makes it all come back full circle. And it's just like I don't know. No, that's beautiful. I mean, you put so much into it. There's like so much that happens that's just you, but it's a whole new era when people start getting to experiencing it and like put their perspective on your perspective.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
Trippy.
Well, when did you start writing music? When did music become like the thing of your life?
Shit.
Forever.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been writing in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, all my life, really. I was always trying to make some sort of song or, like, trying to get homies to, like, start, like, some R&B group or some band or something silly.
Yeah. Is your family musical? Like, how was it introduced to you?
One of my favorite albums is Malibu by Anderson .Paak, and he has this song with Talib Kweli, which is a random collab, but it was tight. Where it's like, I'm a product of the tube in the free lunch, living room watching old reruns. So I watched so much like TV, and what I loved to watch was like these motherfucking biopics of like the Temptations or like the Jackson 5 movies or like Five Heartbeats, which wasn't a real group, but damn it, they were.
That was like a TV band kind of?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Shit like that, really, and just because I moved so much as a kid, just always having like my headphones on, listening and stuff, and that was like escapism to me to just like I think so like not kind of a segue. I feel like a lot of military brats I've met since I've been like an artist, I don't think it's a coincidence that they're in the same like field in a way, because you can get like a certain attention from like entertainment or just like sharing art in a way that maybe you like didn't quite get in a certain way because you move so much or whatever. I just noticed that like pattern when I see people. So like I think that has like something to do with it too.
Like your environment could be different in every state, but TV is always going to be there. The music on your iPod is always going to be there.
For sure.
So
that's why music is always just, I'll think like in like, if there's like a lesson that comes to my head, that lesson might pop in the form like of a song. Like the message is just like, oh, that's how much music's like ingrained into my head. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know. It's really the way I don't want to say communicate best, but damn near, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I can communicate in real life with folks outside of just, like, the music. But I definitely have spent much time trying to, like, articulate certain messages or, like, get points across through that medium, you know?
Yeah, I mean, even the way you're talking to me is, like, very lyrical. Like, I see the through line, so I think that fits. It's a method of communication for sure.
Yeah.
Well, you're heading into EP era.
Yes.
Doobie Mouth?
Doobie Mouth. Hell
Beautiful. Yeah. What is a song that sort of represents this era of you, like the meat of who you are right now?
On this project, honestly, I guess you could say Hello Dear. You know, there's this very specific line when I say, other nights I cried for myself, I'd hide what a way up. Hope it's not too soon to embrace this room as they healed me. Only one way to find out. Hello. And I feel like that's the intro to the project. You know what I'm saying? Here's me.
All the nights I cried for myself, I what a way up. Wow. Hope it's not too soon to embrace this room as they heal me. Only one way to find out. Hello. Oh, hello, dear.
Here's the best version of myself now that I feel like I'm able to share to the world, that kind of feel like makes sense to myself.
In what way does it make more sense?
I think because I was acknowledging, for example, a song like Shadow is me just like trying to embrace, you know, my inner child in a way, or things that weren't quite healed, and just like living with that. It's like acceptance in a way.
Totally.
A song like Rainy is, you know, just about getting back outside, having a good time, embracing who you are.
Yeah.
I have a song called Ain't Too Cool, which is about just embracing love, loving somebody, not being ashamed of it. Just, and that's another form of just like acceptance. Let me see what else on that shit.
I know I'm learning all the unreleased tracks now. I'm stoked.
There's a song called Cherry Tree that's just like about home or just something that's familiar to you. The first song that's going to be on the project is called When I Get Home, which is just like a tough discussion that's like an elephant in the room type situation. And that can only come from being healed. So like,
Yeah.
that's kind of the theme of this in a way. Just taking another shot at it. You know what I'm saying? It's another just attempt at just articulating the experiences up to this point, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really curious about the songwriting process for the EP because it feels like you're inspired a lot by like feelings.
Yeah.
Like I talk to a lot of artists who are telling like the story of a specific moment or like a breakup, that sort of thing. But these feel like overarching feelings that maybe like are not just one day. It's like a memory or just like a nostalgic thing. So I'm curious like how your songs start.
Well, I'm honestly, it's like a mentality. Like I need to hear it more than anybody. You know, I'm motivating myself as I'm writing it or like giving myself the drive to like get through whatever it is I needed to get through.
Yeah.
So that's why music is healing for me. Like I like have to like write, you know what I'm saying? Or like make music something. It's like drinking water.
Yeah, it's like self-therapy kind of.
Yeah, so like I find out something new each time I record something or listen back to it or like perform it. Cause then it gets to grow into the world and then it'll come back to you with like whatever it is that you were trying to like get out of that in a way.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to be careful what you talk about too, because you know it's, you know, so it becomes like, what is it that I want out of life? I would want to be able to like have the best experiences when it comes to love, or know what that like how to articulate that, or like to articulate the journey of just like going out and trying to like accomplish something, or like especially as an artist, or just like just a soundtrack to anything where there's motion, where there's life, you know, and that's just what it is, really, you know.
That is what it is, truly.
Yeah.
Are you writing a lot with like collaborators in the studio? Like, do the songs usually start with the track too?
Sometimes like I might just be kicking them back in Oklahoma, even in my dad's backyard, because it's hella quiet out there, and I'll just like maybe record something on my phone and like send it to a producer and be like, yo, does this make sense? Can you catch this? Sometimes it goes down that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes like I'll write a whole song and then go into the studio and hear some shit. Or sometimes we're just in there together and we'll make something fresh on the spot. It's just a little bit of everything, really. Okay,
that's cool to hear, because your music is like a jam, truly.
Thank you.
Yeah. I went to school for music, college for music, and listening to your whole discography, I like realized how much I missed like the little practice room concerts that would happen all the time.
Yeah.
Because it really reminded me of people just like being in a room enjoying music, like wanting to play together. So I didn't know like how much like the bass line in Rainy is like so fucking good. Like how much of that inspires the writing of it as well.
Yeah. Well, Rainy in particular, that was all of us together. It was me, Jeff Hazen, this guy named Nick Ferraro. And anytime we get together, we have great chemistry. It does just feel like a jam sesh.
Totally.
And all my songs usually have live instrumentation, because I've had so many different versions of like artistry. There was times where it was just me up there with like a hype man, and just some instrumentals, and that was really dope.
Yeah.
But I've also had, you know, a live band, and that let me know that that's the ultimate hype, man. Like to have that
100%.
Because each night could be different. Like, especially how I like to do. I like to try to give my like bass player or like guitar a moment to shine in this show, or like I don't know, I might just do something different on stage, just depending on like how it just sounds in there. It can just change each night, so it just has it's a life of its own that has a voice that's like, no, we're gonna sway this way a little bit, and you kind of gotta like surrender to it. And that's how each city gets its own unique show, or
Right.
like that's special. That's music just getting to breathe, you know.
I so agree.
Yeah.
I mean, tracks are like a beauty of a performance on its own. Like, I don't know if I could do that, like just even technologically, but I don't know, a live band, there's like something special about knowing no one's going to hear it the same way it was performed tonight.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best.
Is that what your show will look like for this tour coming up?
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
I'll have different figurations where I'll have maybe like some nights I'll always have at least my bass player, drums and keys, but some nights I'll have somebody on guitar.
Okay,
and then
cool.
Some nights I'll have a saxophone there too. It just depends.
Awesome.
But yeah, it'll always be something up there going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to know a little bit about like the sonic references for the EP too. Like, what were you listening to that inspired this project?
What was I listening to? Shoot, a little bit of everything. Maybe like some Curtis Mayfield.
Ooh.
A little bit of Sly and Family Stone. Some Outkast for sure. Always
Very
listening
cool.
to Outkast. Let me see. Isley Brothers.
Nice.
Let me see. Yeah, shit like that, really. The Whispers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have like one foot in the past and one in like really like hooked on modern, like alt funk.
Well, I tell people, gosh, it feels like a little slogan at this point. I say it all the time, but it's so true to me. It's like, I feel like my style is like a wedding, something old, something new, something borrowed.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah.
You know, it resonates with me in a true way because I know exactly what to do with that. It's like, okay, music is about the storytelling in the sense of like, part of the shit that I liked growing up is because my parents were excited about it and they could articulate why it was dope to me as a person that didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So like that gives you at least something a skeleton for you to go and do stuff on your own to find stuff. You know what I'm saying? So like that rope back has always been helpful for me navigating what it is I want to listen to now, what it is I like in music now. You know what I'm saying? And realizing it's a tradition in itself, and it's an old tradition.
100%.
You know? And a line I have is it's like a tradition. Doing me is what makes it different. And just that mentality in itself is another guideline to, I just feel like, take the pressure off of like a creative trying to figure out what it is they're trying to do and how they're trying to articulate to the world. Because sometimes there's like not even an ego thing. It's like the beauty of youth to be like, no, fuck what came before me. I'm about to rearrange this shit and do this shit. But when you realize that mentality is like a tradition in itself, you know what I'm saying? Like
all of your influences said that too.
Yeah, and that's what's gonna fuel what it is you're doing now. You know what I'm saying? And it just lets you know that you're okay and you're not alone in that process. You know, and that's important.
Yeah, that's a really refreshing way to look at it, because I think it's very isolating to look at your art and like think that you have to reinvent the wheel to like be worth it. Because when you do that, you look back at it and you're like, oh, this sounds like what I was listening to when I was 7 or 12.
Right.
Like it's always going to be, I don't know, in the baseline of what you do.
For sure.
At least me. My mom tainted me with pop punk when I was growing up. Yeah. So you can't unhear it from anything I listen to now.
There you go. Shout out to mom.
Thanks, Kristen. Well, for our third track, I'd love to know a little cherry on top of your discography. Like, what's like maybe one of your favorites that you've released or are going to release?
I like, again, there's this song on there called Ain't Too Cool. That one sounds like an old school track for sure. It's just paying homage to a time where I wasn't even born. But like,
awesome.
I felt like In our era, there's definitely ways where you can decipher a song and be like, oh, this person likes this person, but they're like kind of being too cool to say it, or like they want to be chased by this person in order for them to realize that, or like, oh, they don't know that they like this person, but that's what they're saying, or like, I don't think they know how to go out and bluntly say that. And I like certain songs where like, damn, this person like begged for forgiveness for someone. They just needed to say that. You can hear it in a song like, whoa, this might have been the only place he felt like he could talk to this person. You know what I'm saying? Because you couldn't like send a subtweet. You couldn't like a story or something where that person might see it. You might have to write a letter or like something like that. Or like just not being bashful in a way of just like, yo, I love this person. I want the world to know it. Like, I think songs like that are great to make just because it's just like I don't know. And that song in particular speaks to like, oh shit, I feel like I captured my attempt at that feeling. Because in a way, depending on how much music is important in your life and how you utilize it, they are feelings. And we don't, in some of those old school songs are feelings that might not get used anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So like that, having a song like that allows me to embrace that emotion in my real life. You know what I'm saying? How I said I have to live certain things when I make it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm my own goddamn social experiment in a way. So that's why the music has to speak to me, or it has to be something I can feel comfortable doing night in, night out. Yeah.
That's such a cool way to look at it, that like songs are a feeling that might not be used again. That like makes me want to go through like the Temptations discography and like send them to my girlfriend. Like, hey, hold on, we need to talk about this.
Hey, for real.
Oh, I love that. I'm really excited to hear the track. That's cool.
Oh, dang, I thought somebody would have maybe sent it to you or something. We'll have to play
That's all right.
Hell yeah.
I got everything else to listen to, too.
Let's go.
Well, I have a couple of closing questions for you.
Yep.
I would love to know, if your music was a candle, what scent would it be?
Probably like a lavender or some cedar type, earthy type thing. I love like earth tones. Things that remind me of just like being outside, or like wood type things. Yeah. So yeah, cedar and lavender. For
like
sure.
Natural, earthy.
Yeah.
Cool. My second question. What is your favorite sound right now that is not music? Just like life sound.
Honestly, cicadas. So when I'm back in Oklahoma, you don't be hearing cicadas out in LA. Like, come on now. So
no,
like,
I hear the 101.
Right. So anytime I go back, I probably go back to Oklahoma quite a bit, just see my fam or just go kick it in the backyard type shit.
It's awesome.
And the cicadas, it's just like, it becomes therapeutic. I know some people hate that shit though. Like, it's annoying at the time. But because I'm not around it so much, I allow myself to miss it, and it's a great sound.
It's good
sound. It's good
sound.
to be missed, Abby. It's good to be missed.
It is good to be missed. Yeah. Whenever I'm missing home, I listen to Scott Street by Phoebe Bridgers.
Maybe I fuck with her though.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's crazy.
At the end of it, she has like a bike bell sound and then a train whistle, just like over the outro. And my parents live like a couple blocks from the train tracks. So every time I'm like, oh,
dude,
that's the sound.
There's some podcasts I was listening to where they're talking about like sounds that will like slowly go extinct just based off, it's like trains in a way. Like, another time living in Oklahoma, I would always hear the train tracks before bed, and you kind of need them after a while. Like, it's not even like a loud sound, it's just like a blanket or something.
It's almost like it's like grounding. It's like, oh yeah, that's there. There's people going somewhere
for sure.
It's crazy. Okay, well, I had a third question, but now I would love to know about your fashion inspo as well, because it's you.
Well, today, I got my cell phone, it's this new PawPaw merch. You can go to PawPawRod.com to get this. You know what I'm saying? I had to come represent.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's very like 90s, like hip hop where you see the artists out and they have their merch on, you know what I'm saying, everywhere they go for that whole year, like repping the album. Like,
listen, you put a lot of work into that.
So I had to do that. But it speaks to the style of the music, something old, something new, something borrowed. Like, when I wear square-toed boots, it reminds me of my pawpaw. The flared pants, when I was a kid, I always thought it was cool when I saw, like when I watch old, like, Motown videos and stuff, and I'd be like, dang, I'm just at a time where, like, oh, I can really wear what the hell I want, and I always wanted to wear these. So, like, something like that. You know, rings, I like usually something people will make for me type thing, so that's some very modern stuff. Yeah, that's just kind of how I like pieces, too. Like, I like to get, like, jackets and stuff that I feel like I can keep and refurbish and, like, pass down, you know what I'm saying? Because I have, excuse me, like, a lot of my pawpaw's old jackets. One I've been wearing for years, and I take good care of it, and I plan on being able to pass that down. So stuff that lasts long, you know, sustainability, things like that. Yeah.
Yes, sustainability. That's awesome. Okay, well, my final question for you is I would love to know who your ones to watch are. Who are you listening to that I should also be listening to?
There's this band out of Houston called Mind Shrine.
Ooh.
I rock with them. They have like some 70s sounding psychedelic shit. It's really dope. There's this kid from Oklahoma. He lives in Nashville. I'm doing a show with him in like 2 days. His name's Casper Sage.
Oh, sick.
He's incredible. Amazing singer. My buddy Sherwin, he makes incredible music. We have a song together called The Season on his last project. But he has this song called Infinity High. That's insane. Mind-blowing song. I'm sure I'm forgetting some other people. Tia Wood, she's an amazing artist. She just released her first song called Dirt Roads.
Oh,
so fire. I think she just released something else too.
Dope.
Incredible. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of cool shit.
Yeah, most of these are new for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to put you on for real. I like this rapper named Bash for the World. He's from Dallas, I think. My buddy Nascent, I'm on his project.
Dope.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I have homework.
Hell yeah.
That's my favorite thing. I will. Well, good luck on tour.
Thank you
Still
so much.
Woozy and then headline. That's crazy.
Hell yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Everybody pull up. It's going to be fun.
They will.
Bring your doobies if you got them. If you don't smoke, that's okay. Stay hydrated, and I'll see y'all soon.
Right on. Well, once again, this is One to Watch Chef's Choice. I'm Abby Kenna. This is PawPaw Rod. Thanks.
See ya.